All right, crew, we are back. A little bit different of a topic today, but as I've been doing more camping over the past, year and a half or so, and doing a little bit more stuff back in the woods, I typically would use off and that kind of stuff to, keep ticks off and just general pests. But I was doing some research on other options and things out there, and I stumbled upon the Sawyer Permethrin. It is odorless. I did find this over at Brownells. This is probably one of the few things that I'm able to actually unbox on here compared to our normal, firearms. But it comes in the box. You get a little spray bottle or a spray top to it for the bottle. This is a 24-ounce bottle. So, and the difference between like your permethrin here and let's say like your off is that permethrin is actually an insecticide. So off is ultimately going to help keep the ticks and that kind of stuff off of you. Permethrin, if they get on you, and I've done a bunch of reading up on this across a bunch of different websites, but if they get on you, ultimately that tick is going to die. So this is actually going to kill those pests that do make contact with you. This is not made to be put directly on your skin. It is made to be, treated to your clothing. So you would put it on your clothing well before you're wearing it because you want it to dry out. So definitely another piece of a good nice piece of kit for being back in the woods and being able to kind of help keep those critters off of you, like the ticks and that. I do go to some areas where there are a large amount of ticks, which is what prompted me to kind of dig a little deeper into the options out there. As far as the shelf life on this, Sawyer does say that the bottles do last 10 years. I was reading on my journeys through the internet, I did stumble on a page that recommended getting another bottle after 3 years. So with that, obviously that's a pretty wide variation. I did email Sawyer as well asking about, I've had this one, I've had this a little bit now, and this one was made back in 2021, so I am right around where I think it was the Canadian government had actually said to replace it. So around like June is when the Canadian government would say to replace it, but Sawyer says I am good for a whole nother 7 years. So take that with where you want to go with it. I think it's probably good for a lot longer than the 3 years than the Canadian government was listing. But yes, this is it's got some good shelf life to it. This bottle, if I remember correct, is supposed to treat about 6 full outfits, and obviously that probably depends on how much you're spraying on there. So with the experience of Sawyer and knowing how much they would put on there, they're able to get 6. If you're going a little overboard, probably won't get 6 out of it. But yeah, I intend to probably spray this on some pants that I use when I'm back in the woods, and maybe a shirt or a jacket or something of that nature. And yeah, I mean, from what I read, if a tick was to get onto you within about 10 to 15 minutes, they are basically stumbling, and it renders them unable to bite, is the way that actually listed on the website. So this stuff is supposed to be very effective. I'm looking forward to kind of, ultimately testing it out, being I do run into ticks occasionally in the backwoods. Who knows, maybe we'll get one and put in a little container with some permethrin and we can see what happens. But definitely check this stuff out if you are in the backwoods regularly around pests like ticks and things of that nature. You can find these over at Brownells. I believe it was about, I want to say it was about $15 for this bottle. But I will catch you guys later. Run suppressed. Stay blessed.